to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning number of a $500,000 lottery ticket. That must be the show Mr. Elg was listening to. Can't see any problem with the testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 PM, correct? Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving the lunch menu. Get to the point, Trite, if you have one. Oh, I do. I got a doozy. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 PM. And it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30? Now supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 PM. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! Okay, so this victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum. That's actually in his right ear. Listening to the radio with his ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Oh! For some reason I was assuming it'd be like the stolen turnabout, where it was like multiple days. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Tribulations that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. And the phony Glen Elg acting out the events for Mr. Godot to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy? Right performance, Trite, you are almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 PM. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Godot. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court, however. At that time, the real Glen Elg was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion. Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? I mean, I have a pretty good guess. Kitchen? Yeah. The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. The evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? We don't have evidence to say where he was hidden. All we can really do is make an educated guess. I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Yeesh. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Elg concealed? Inside Tribulations. Itted would. They could have just done itted. Or it would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribulations. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location of where the body was concealed inside Tribulations is... Woo! Anywhere. The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? That explains a lot. The bottle, medicine, it was found in the kitchen. Explains why that is. Why was it in the aromatherapy box, though? Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations. Eh? I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. That's because it's not... Yeah, but this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? Well, funny you should say. I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Ogg visited an ear clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analysed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Boah! Glenn Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu! Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird, however. You were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No! What a douche. Order. This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elg? Never. I could not do such an horrible thing. What the heck is that? Oh, it's Godot. No! Mr. Godot? How does he still have coffee left? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavour in your ear, my H deficient friend? I didn't know what that word was at first. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español. Mr. Armstrong and por favor is Spanish. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No. Absolutely no. Let's hear it. You've got one shot. Right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel. It is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well, begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. Right, so, the confession. It's true, I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with it because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me. Okay, I think this is where it starts to make more sense. Yep, you were forced. By who? I cannot say. Or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elg died, was he really the only person at the table? No. There was... Hey, look who it is. There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. We've got to break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Pardon me. Did you carry the body yourself? Not by yourself? I carried him, and I carried Maggie too. Maggie too? Oh, she was unconscious. When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. Is that when he hid the medication? I could not leave her there. But why did you hide the bodies? A man forced me to do it, I had no choice. What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared. You'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him. But why would you go along with this man? Oh, I know. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. And what would that reason be, Mr. Armstrong? You know, monsieur. Yes? Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that. And a bit too male. I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it. With evidence. I'm just gonna press everything. I really should do this anyway. Like when it comes to testimonies and I know there's not an instant game over if I press the wrong thing. I should press every statement because then you get all the dialogue out and it's cool. You must believe me. So you are claiming that all you did was hide the bodies. Is that correct? Oui, that's right. If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this. He's already confessed this much, he might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is. Then sock it to him, Nick. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Right, now we start again. I hid the body, or no? Right, a man forced him to do it. I wonder who it could have been. It's my phony! Furio Tigre. Let's end this dance of ring around the rosy, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man that you've been referring to. Ah. Who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom. This man is Furio Tigre. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There's no point trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I knew you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre, at least not while he had this on you. The loan! A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you. Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong. Le Tiger, he told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. Oh. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. Oof. Ba-da-doo. I just did what he told me to. Or to do. I had no choice. I carried La body and La inconscient Maggie out of La dining area. And into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. Oh, look at him. Oh crap. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket were recovered from the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it, I was not. It is despicable. Mr. Godot. You will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. As we end on a gulp. 30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the? Don't sit back and relax yet, right? No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We'll resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Yay! To be continued. Oh wait, that's a different song entirely. That's from Justice for All. Yeah. I always do that. My bad. Yay! Bum 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 bum. Alright. So we're finally gonna see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. Yep. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal! Hey, Gumshoe! Detective Gumshoe! What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topknot. It's not a topknot! Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda get wound up. No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analysed for you if you've got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour. You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Wait, so... Yeah, the bottle. Because he was gonna get prints, but somebody messed up. I remember that. He said something like that. Yes. It does actually say, unidentified fingerprints. Whoop. So if you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Okay. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Damn straight. Oh, Tigre, it is your time. Okay. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Fierio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Fierio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Oh god. Witness? Please state your name and occupation for the... Okay, he actually roars like a tiger. Oh, she ran away. Oh. Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there's room for me down there too. Would you mind what you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest. Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was... the judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you just didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What do you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. Oh! Godot saves the day. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. I like how she's just not there, she's under a table. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy. You mean you didn't attend to the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? Got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You was the one who set this up, didn't you? You was gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me to get a grip, Nick. He shit himself. Oh no! It's so scary. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year, spent all of my time out in the office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Okay. At last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, please. Well, what is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you're just gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. I don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you get tangled with the tiger. Oh dear. I love a good spectator spot. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. He's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. You got that scooter though. Pardon me. So the court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honour. So this is one of those where I can't press irrelevant statements. Great. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? And she didn't. Alright. The tiger's alibi. Okay, so... Don't know nothing about no murder. Tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in the office. Just asked by a letter. So the only one is this. In December. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago. You know? You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what? Press harder. What do you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is a dead end, Trite, and you know it. Remember the rules. I object your objection. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please... Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honour, and ask him yourself. I love how the judge is just nowhere to be seen. The day she was talking about, I was in the office, too. I never saw that kid before. You know, I just don't believe you. There it is. Meet with the tiger. So, you're wrong. Bitch. Whoops. Mr. Tigre! You claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg. Except, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. Dated December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder! So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, he's laughing. Not bad. He's actually not bad. Sorry. I was just messing with yous. To see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. He's calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? Ruh-roh. Oh my god, is that a Scooby-Doo reference? Ruh-oh. So you're claiming... You're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth. I said I'm dead serious. He's got to believe that's the truth. And I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. T-Ray. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court witness? You never actually met the victim. That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. Oh! So, okay, the victim, Glenn Elg. I ain't no liar, I never met Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tenderlander. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I ain't never even been to that Tribulations joint. You hear? That's a bold-faced lie. He was there when he beat our ass. I see, that all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, pardon me. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you. Right. So, the victim, Glenn Elg. I don't know if I'm still under the penalty for pressing. So I'm not pressing anything. Unless it's relevant to the case, essentially. I ain't never been to that Tribulations joint, you see? But we have matches that we found in your office. I'm pretty sure we found them in their office. What was that weird, like, head twitch? Oh, he's doing that. Yeah, found lying in the Tenderlander. Boom! Why were these in your office then? Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you was talking about? We found them in your office at Tenderlander. They're from that restaurant. What? If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? Uh-oh. You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Damn. Order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Oh god, never mind. Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well. Glug glug. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Elg that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. At Tribulations. I was supposed to meet with that kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. Huh. I see, you didn't actually meet with the victim in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. No problem. Penalty? Anytime Tripe presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. The special express isn't cheap, right? Just so yous know since yous paying. Oh, man. Doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Not when you got somebody who's scary, I guess. Ah, très bien! Okay. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out stiff as concrete. Hold up. If we look at the crime photo, can you actually see the tables from the door? No, you can't. There's a wall behind him. Wait, no. God, I almost presented the crime photo. I'm an idiot. Oh, I could also do that. Yeah, you can see the door there. There's a bunch of walls. Well. Yeah, dude. You're wrong. You're something of a loan collector collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigray? No one escapes the target's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigray. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true! Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. There you go. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. No! I'm sweating! Ooh! So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him. Bum 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 ba bum. Wrong, have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. Yeah, that was the reenactment, but the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenelg, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Oh. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenelg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. I mean, it's kind of obvious, he's in the witness stand. The killer is Furio Tigray. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness. Okay. Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you just don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on. You got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigray. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright. Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. He's got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot. let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh no. The serving girl brought him a Giorgino.